If you want to see how I have my motovlog set up and a review of all three of my action cams, this is the episode for you. All right guys, as you can see, I'm going to address this first. Before I get into the cameras, the motovlog setup, it's me flying solo today. But I know most of us think Lacey's way more pretty to look at than me. So in order to support that, I wore my beautiful Lacey t-shirt. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Honestly guys, just life gets busy. And Lacey's she's busy planning life events, working, being a mom. So we have a lot going on. But we've talked about getting a motovlog set up review back to you guys. So today I'm going to take you guys on a ride. I'm going to show you how I have everything set up. And then you'll see me actually riding, motovlogging, and how I have that going. Okay, first thing I'm going to jump into is where I have everything set up. So right here on my handlebars, I have our newest camera. This is our DJI Osmo Action Pro 5. So that's just mounted right up here. My sissy bar, I have our Insta360 X3 to kind of get those behind shots. And then on my helmet itself, okay, I have my GoPro Hero 11 chin mounted to get that first POV point of view. Also within my helmet, okay, one of the reasons that we got the DJI Osmo 5 is because of the mic minis, which is right here. So if you can see right here, I have tape and I literally just use 100-mile-an-hour tape and then put the magnet in there and then super easily, that just snaps right in. So that's how I have that set up. So showing you how I have everything set up, the three different cameras. Let's jump on the bike and break it down for you guys. All right guys, so we're on the bike. We got all the cameras set up. I got my GoPro mounted to my chin. I got my DJI Action 5 Pro mounted to my bars, and I got the Insta360 right behind me. So I'm just going to talk about each one individually as we ride around for a minute and tell you guys what I like about them and what are some of the pros and cons of each. So for me, let's talk about what I got on my chin first, this GoPro Hero 11 Black. So this is the first action camera that I got, and I got it really to just start putting out content on YouTube, trying to get different shots, or not YouTube really, but social media in general, Instagram, TikTok, and there's a huge learning curve. I'd never done any of this stuff before, and so I learned a lot from this GoPro, so I really do love it. I think it's pretty user-friendly. If you've never used anything like this before, it's pretty much point and shoot, and you can get into all the different settings and stuff, but even out of the box, if you just start recording stuff, you're going to get some really decent shots with it. And now they're 2 generations ahead of this, and they're still, getting better every time. For me, I still have the 11. I haven't upgraded in the GoPro realm. Obviously, I have 2 different other cameras as well, and I think one of the downsides that I've seen to GoPro is I don't think they're keeping up with these other cameras. So even though I love this, I'll still use it all the time. The quality of footage it gets is great during daylight. I just think that there's some things left to be wanted. 2 of my critiques of the GoPro that we have are first, in low light, sunset, sunrise, and then anything where it's actually dark outside, the quality gets so grainy, and it's pretty poor that way. And I think most people are aware of that with action cameras, but this is by far the worst in low light of my 3 cameras. So I think that's one knock. So if you do want to get some of those shots, just have that understand that you do need good lighting outside to get good shots with this. The other thing is I love action cameras because of the different things that I do, right? So Lacey and I like to ride together, and then we like to jump off and vlog a little bit, and we're talking about what we're doing. And when you're out and about, sometimes it's really nice to just be able to pop the camera off, start talking, get that footage, pop it back on the bike, hit the road again. And the sound quality on my GoPro as well is the worst of the 3 cameras. So it's just something to be aware of. It's not a bad camera to have, and again, depending on what you want to shoot, it does have to be fixed. So that's why I like it on my chin mount, because I can move it around a little bit, I can get different angles. I do like that helmet mounted style, and so I think it's perfect for that because it still gives some variation of what you're seeing, or at least some movement. But overall, solid action camera, but out of my three, it's probably the worst. And I don't say that and like it's not a good camera. It's just there's other features with my other two cameras that I think outweigh this one. Next, I'll talk about my 360 camera. So I have the Insta360 X3. Again, this is another camera that there's now 2 generations above this. They just came out with the X5, and those cameras, very similar setup, but they do film in 8K versus mine does 5.7. They have a little bit bigger sensors and a couple other features. However, regardless of the features, I like to watch videos and I like to see the quality of the footage that people are putting out. And I just don't feel like it's there. Like, I feel like what I get on my X3 is the same as what I've been seeing on people's X5s that they just came out with. There is some small differences. So if the most minute detail and the perfect lighting does matter to you, I think, go that route, whatever makes you happy. But for most people, if you're watching this video, I don't believe that if I threw up the X5 versus the 3, that you would really notice a difference. A lot of the comparisons I see, you just don't. But I do think as far as riding footage in general, the Insta360 is the best. It's so simple to use. You put it in one spot. You can mount it in a lot of different places, but essentially you can put it in one spot, and then you can capture everything because it films from 360 degrees. So if you have a really scenic area, you can just throw this on, hit record, go through that area, and then frame all the shots that you want as you're riding around. I think we've all seen some of the really cool stuff, mostly on social media, but kind of where it's positioned now, and you just get this behind the back view, and you're watching people, weave through traffic or just cruise on the highway. It's kind of a fine perspective. With Lacey and I, a lot of times what we do is we end up mounting the 360 right up here in the front of the bars. It's very easy to use. She can just hit record, and a lot of the shots that we get together are just from the 360. And so I can frame it and post edit however I need to, and it makes it pretty fun. And so I think anybody who just wants bike content itself, any of the Insta360s X3 Plus are the way to go. The one thing that I will say, I have one pro and one con. Well, actually, I think I have 2 cons. So one pro for the X3 that I think is overlooked sometimes is the sound quality is actually pretty good. I think it definitely beats my GoPro, and I think that's something that most people don't realize about it, is that the sound quality is pretty good. I don't necessarily think that I would use it for vlogging. It's not something that we've really used it for, but the sound quality, especially on the road, the riding footage, it picks up exhaust well and has some good sound. So I do think that that's a pro. 2 of the cons on the X3 are, one, how long it takes it to boot up. So even if you have it powered on and then you hit record, it might even be a 5-second delay. So if I'm looking at the end of the street and I'm like, oh, I want to capture that, and I turn it on now, I might be past that whole scene or thing that I wanted to shoot before it even kicks on. And so that can be super frustrating. So that's, for an action camera to be able to get quick shots, like, that's a huge knock on it. But I do think that has been corrected from what I've seen with the X5. So from experience, I do think if you're looking at just getting bike shots, the X5 would probably be worth the investment, because that quick response time as far as recording, and then as well as just the simplicity of use. The other kind of con, but it's what makes it what it is editing. I think there's a pretty decent learning curve as far as editing 360 footage. So again, it's filming in 360 degrees. So getting the right frames without it looking warped can be a little bit of a challenge and a learning curve. But with that said, it does open up so many options. So once you get used to it, or once you find a system that works for you, it's great. So I do think, even though it's initially a con, it can become pretty simple to use. For me, I found out that, like, if I use a tablet or my iPad, that's the easiest way to edit. I just use my hands, frame the shot how I want to, and pull the footage off that way. So again, if you're new to 360s and you have an iPad or a tablet, I highly recommend trying to edit through that, because that might be a little bit easier for you initially. At least for somebody simple like me, it's proven to be pretty good. And then the last camera that I want to talk about is this camera right here, the DJI Osmo Action Pro 5. It's our newest camera, and I absolutely love it. I think it's perfect for what Lacey and I do together as far as getting action shots as we're riding, but then also popping it off the bike real quick, talking. The sound quality is great, even just from the internal speaker or internal microphone itself. It's wonderful. So we can kind of go wherever we want, go on and off the bikes flawlessly, and it's been great that way. The other thing is the quality in it is significantly better, in my opinion, than my other two cameras. So because of that, I like to use it for any of the shots that I really want to capture. If there's really good lighting, if there's something really cool coming up, I definitely want to use this camera because it's just a better quality image that comes out of it. I think also in low light, it's hands down the best performance with both the GoPro that I talked about and the Insta360. If you're getting a sunset or sunrise time, you're going to get such a grainy image, and you can't really clean it up. So the DJI in the evening at sunset, it's like it gives us extra recording time. The quality is there, and I think it allows us to capture some really cool shots. So if you need an all-around action camera and you just want the camera alone, I do think that this is the way to go. An additional selling feature for me is how easy it is to hook up other things to it. So right now, obviously, I showed you guys the setup. I have the mic mini in my helmet. That's what I'm talking to you guys on. And I just have to push record on the Action 5 Pro. And as soon as I do, this microphone connects instantly. I can turn this camera on, my microphone connects, and I can start recording literally 5 seconds before I push record on that Insta360. So you capture a lot more with it, and so I really do like it for those reasons. And the integrated system that DJI has, I think, makes it worth it. Yeah, and that's kind of the breakdown of the cameras that I got. So I feel like this is finally a setup that I feel like is working pretty well with the DJI up here, the GoPro on my chin, and then the 360 behind me. I like that I can get all the different angles. I do feel a little, I don't know how to say this, silly with so many cameras around, but I do think it captures the footage the best. So I think this is the setup that I'm going to use moving forward. But let me know in the comments how you guys set yours up, what you would do differently, if you guys think this is a good setup, or how you would adjust it, because again, I'm always looking for feedback and the best setup possible to put out, again, quality content and keep pushing that. We're going to go ahead and jump. I'm going to show you guys a couple different videos that we've shot with different cameras, how they look, and let you guys see a little bit more of that, and then we'll jump back in the garage and we'll close out there. We'll see you guys in a sec. Yeah, right at the end there, I was able to show a few clips of the different cameras, kind of the different shots that we use each camera for, and how we want to set that up moving forward. People with more experience, we'd love to hear from you. Lacey and I want to do this more together and capture a lot of different shots, but also we enjoy having fun conversations as we ride. We have some bigger trips coming up, some longer rides, and we want to have a good setup to share that stuff with you guys. So again, if you have any comments, reviews, suggestions, throw them in the comments, reach out to us on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Everybody who, again, comes back week in, week out, we appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing, for following along and interacting with us. And with that, Lacey will be with me next week, and we'll see you then.